Hello, my YouTube friends, and happy Tuesday. Today I'm going to talk about why Archer Daniels Midland and Boeing are my two favorite trades right now. Not long term holds, trades, but I expect to have them for some time. Anyway, stick around and I'll talk about those two companies and why I like them so much. Good morning. My name is Adam Kahn, and this is Investing with Adam K. I hope you guys are doing well, enjoying your day. Absolutely beautiful here today. So, why do I like Archer Daniels, Midland, and Boeing so much? The basics are bad news on really good companies, and the news has gotten pretty bad. And we'll dive into what's going on with each of them, why I like them, where they're at, and what I see going forward. So Archer Daniels Midland is who I'll start with, just because I wrote it down first, not for any other reason. If you're not familiar with them, their ticker symbol is ADM, and they're a large food packaging and ingredient company that's pretty well diversified in the space. They've been around a long time, they do a very good business, and the stock is down really significantly because there became a bit of an issue when one of their executives was probably lying about the numbers in the books. They reported it themselves, they created their own investigation, they did everything right. But this caused a lot of selling in the stock, pushed the stock down to about $53 a share. Well, the news has kind of died down and nobody's really talking about it anymore, which I love. And they just reported earnings and they did really well on the earnings. Revenues were down, which is the one thing that's a little bit concerning, but they actually beat on earnings, which means they probably cut costs and other things. Revenue is really important in the equation because you want to see it growing business, not just cutting costs, because long run you can't cut costs forever. So if you're pushing earnings higher and higher just on cost cutting measures, eventually that can run into an issue if you're not driving the revenues higher. But based on where the earnings are, they're at a PE of around 9.5%, which is really inexpensive for this stock. They're also paying a 3.5% dividend, which is really nice. And based on the income coming in, they can easily afford to pay the dividend, which is nice for me because I love dividends, even though I know that's not the most important thing to focus on. They beat the estimated earnings number pretty significantly. They were 9 cents above what the estimates were. The estimate was $1.37 a share, and they came in at $1.46 per share. That's pretty good. The stock is actually down on that information. It's trading down around $58.50 last I looked, and it's down over $2 today. I picked up a few shares. It traded down to about $52, around $53 a share when the news was coming out and at the height of the bad information. I put a little on to make sure that I can see it and it's in the portfolio, but I'm actually hoping it gets down to that $54 range where I'd be willing to pick up some more. Then I'll be patient and wait for the next few earnings to see that they continue to grow. But what I like is they don't seem to be talking about the bad news very much anymore. And I like to buy stocks when they're on sale. And Archer Daniels Midland is on sale. Things might get worse. There might be new information that comes out that causes the stock to go lower. That's always a risk, which is why keep in mind this is not financial advice. Don't listen to me. I'm just sharing what works for me. You guys need to do your own research and all financial decisions you make for yourselves. For me, anywhere under $60 a share starts looking really attractive for this company. It seems to be well priced. I think they are going to be able to grow. And even if there's an economic slowdown, they've been around so long, they're entrenched in the economy, they know how to adjust. I'm not super concerned about what happens no matter whether the economy continues to boom or if it slows down. Those are one of the companies that I'm comfortable owning for the long run, and I think they'll be around for a long time. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, I mean it. It's not one of the ones that I'm putting in the safe deposit box to own forever. I just think I'm getting it discounted. And if it happens to start going back up and the earnings come in, well, I hope to maybe in 6 months or a year, 2 year type of timeline that it's no longer discounted and I can get out and move on to something else that's discounted. Now, I think I've talked about my three different portfolios, the one that's put it away and saved forever, that has things like Google and Amazon and Meta and things like that. Then I have an account that I trade. And this is kind of in that realm of I pay attention to it, but I don't really watch it every day. I don't worry about the ups and downs over the next few weeks. I kind of figure it takes some time before the negative gets shaken out, but I'm guessing most of the sellers are done. The institutions will start to feel more comfortable as time goes on and there aren't new issues coming on. Archer Daniels is great company, so that's one of the ones I love. The other one that I really like right now, and it's probably my favorite, is Boeing. And part of what I love about Boeing is everybody hates it. I get comments in the comment section about how awful it is and how I could like it because they had that problem with the 737 Max, and then all of a sudden the thing with the I don't know, in the news they showed Southwest where the panel kind of came off that engine area. It looked terrible. Thing is that wasn't really determined whether that was a Boeing error or Southwest Airlines employee issue where they may not have just covered the thing up the way they're supposed to. There are concerns that maybe they're not doing things the way they should be at the plant, and there were employees coming forward. But why I love Boeing is how much more negative could it really get? And similar to Archer Daniels Midland, I want to buy when the news is negative. In fact, today, some company, let me look it up before I get it wrong. Oh, Glass and Lewis, it came out and now they want to have a proxy to not vote back in three of the directors. Well, this caused the stock to get all nervous. It fell from $174 a share because it was having a decent day down to, I think, $169 last I looked. But as far as I'm concerned, this is all the stuff that's just kind of noise and silliness. Does it matter that much? Will that hurt their revenues going forward? Will that hurt their ability to grow the company? Their estimates are showing that they're supposed to grow from like $3 and change a share in profits to over $16 a share over the next 4 to 5 years. That's really impressive. That has really good growth. And a company like Boeing should actually have a good outline as to how that's going to look going forward because they do a lot of contracts that are going to be 1 year, 2 year, 3 year contracts with all sorts of different government agencies and things like that. In fact, they picked up some new one I think I saw for $414 million over time to some government entity. They do 60% of their business is commercial airlines and 40% is military and government. And as far as I saw, Boeing and Airbus are the only two that really do commercial airline planes. Who's going to come in and start competing in the space? It's not like a normal person can just start building airplanes and selling them. You really have to be in the space already, and I'm guessing companies like McDonnell Douglas or Cessna or whatever, they're in the space that they're working in and probably not looking to get into the commercial airline space. I highly doubt we'll get to a situation where there's just one company and Airbus is the only one doing the airlines. But anything's possible, which is why I say you need to do your own research and don't listen to me. I just think Boeing's had enough bad news. The price of the stock is back down to the levels it fell to around COVID, if I remember correctly. And it's been bouncing around this range between $160 a share to maybe $240 or $250 a share. Well, it's at the low of that range. The news is terrible. Eventually, people forget. And I don't think people aren't flying because of it. Maybe for now, similar to when Chipotle was having all of their problems with the tainted food, people get up in arms and they don't fly that specific plane. But give it a year or give it 2 years. And my guess is nobody even really remembers. They're back to normal, going on whatever flights they would go on for vacation and not even thinking about which plane it is. Of course, we could have another issue that would cause it to come up again and create a bit of a fear and maybe cause the stock to go lower. But typically, what ends up happening is time lets people forget what's going on today, and then things normalize. And right now, while people are nervous, I think you're getting a really good deal. I will also do my best to keep people updated to let you know if and when I do get out of either of those trades. I don't know if any of you were watching with me with Target, but I think I let everybody know I have gotten out of the Target position, and that's actually what I moved into the Boeing trade with, and what I'm using for the Archer Daniels Midland. So I tend to have these long-term trades that I keep, as well as the ones that are just in the set it and forget it, or what I call my safe deposit account, and then, like we've talked about, my dividend account. So right now, Boeing and Archer Daniels Midland are the two I like because of the bad news. Hopefully, there's some bad news on some other great companies. Also, before I forget, before we go, if you haven't already, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, make some comments. Tell me if there's something that you know of that's out of favor right now that's a great company. I like the information. It helps me to find stocks that maybe I don't have on my radar. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow or the next day.